Hey, shalom, brothers. It's Brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, we can give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders that learned the truth from GMS. Blessing to the Akim there preaching his word with hard sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, 1/3 entirely. The first fruits, kingdom of heaven, house of David, that beyaf that would die. And shalom to brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking different nations. Shalom to you, brothers. So today, brothers, matter of fact, let me make sure I was, so today, brothers, man, I wanted to get into, the actual, my favorite topic in the scriptures besides the kingdom of heaven is actually the topic that got me in the truth, that the Lord used to give me in the truth, and that's spiritual power. I am really heavy on it. If you brothers can follow the brother Manak Nazat Ben Yum, I believe. Let me see if I can find him. Let me see. Normally what I do is, because I want to go here on purpose, right here. So this brother right here, Manat Tazak Bayum, right here, if you guys can see it, take a follow of that brother, man. Really good brother, sincere brother. I pretty much follow this brother, and this is the same brother that when I came into the truth. So I'm going on 6 now. So 6 years ago, sometime around like maybe
thy face.
end of the year, I would say. But 6 years ago,
in all my iniquity,
was relaxing and on my bed or driving around from work or somewhere I was, and I particularly was just in the world. Just doing whatever it is I do. I didn't know nothing about Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa yet. I believe I heard about being an Israelite. I heard that from actually one of my brothers that's actually in my camp too as well. But I didn't take heed immediately. So and then out of nowhere, I like Dragon Ball Z, Marvel, superhero type of genres of TV shows and movies. And out of nowhere, out came a Manak Zap Yum Yum video. Obviously, just kind of speed this up. And like, you know how like when it goes, when it shows up Marvel and then it flickers different comic characters in the words. Oh, that's like the Marvel signature. As a new movie or a TV show comes on, that's how it, the Marvel sign comes up. Well, in that same concept, there was 144,000, and inside the 144,000 was similar to like Marvel and DC characters flickering through the numbers like Marvel would do, but it was more like so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian type of people doing wonderful things, and then the video was getting into like so-called African Americans throwing beams like Dragon Ball Z and powering up, and then he was using different references in movies that was in like really good action type of clips and smashing it together, relating to it. As I was listening, I was really in tune to the actual imagery that was going on, like the Kamehameha like Goku, if any brother know Dragon Ball Z, or laser beams like Superman can do, telekinesis, you got Avatar, where you can airbend, controlling the elements of the earth. You got like Dr. Manhattan, where that's the best depiction of power I could think of, and etc. Wolverines and the X-Men. I mean, it was so many different things coming at one time, but he was putting Jake into it, and it was like relating to us. And then it was just very exclusive to like our people, so I couldn't understand, but it was still an amazing imagery. And then as I was watching it, there comes scriptures that was into it, and I recognized that it was a Bible, because it was saying, Psalms 18, and it was getting into Zechariah 12, and then it will talk in a real, the narrator will be like, the voice will be like real deep, like, like in that day, the Lord shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. It was talking like that. And I'm sitting there, wow, and the music was coming in. It was like entertainment and actually edifying at the same time. But I didn't even know what edifying was. And as he was throwing in the scriptures with it, I didn't catch the scriptures all the way. But as I was getting into it, then I was starting to then I watched a second video. I thought it was so amazing that I watched it a second time. And then I went through the YouTube rabbit hole of Manak Nazap Yum Yum. And then I was starting to understand that, Israelites was relating to it. Then the 144,000, I got that understanding. There are these special men, the governing body of the kingdom of heaven. And, then I didn't even know, the man who they call Jesus Christ, which his name is Yahawashi, was related to it. And that's his men. It just bombarded me so crazy, but I understood it and was able to comprehend it very well. And I got hooked. And I was still smoking weed at the time. It's more like a testimonial, brothers. I was still smoking weed at the time. And so, as I was smoking weed, I would literally derive my day where I would like grab weed, a nick or a dub bag or something. And I would literally can't wait to get off work so I can go roll up and watch these videos on powers and so-called black people, Hispanic and Native Americans, with these powers and shit like that. And then, believe it or not, brothers, believe it or not, this is where it get real popping and where it gets better. Not only was I amazed by the videos, I later on shortly got an inclination that it was real too. So it wasn't just saying that it was so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians that got power, which was dope. But then it was basically saying that we're going to get these powers in the near future in prophecy. That's what blew my mind. And that's what really got me that's when I was mind boggled on what I'm watching is a depiction of reality that's coming soon. Right. And it's going to be a real messed up time, what we call Jacob's trouble. And it's going to be a really bad time in the world that since mankind has never seen, and since mankind has been on the scene in general, has never seen a time like what's coming in the prophecy of Jacob's trouble. And in Jacob's trouble, I got an idea of how bad Jacob's trouble was going to be, referring to Matthew 24, Daniel 12:1, Zechariah 30:7, or Jeremiah 30:7. And just reading 2nd Esdras 15, 2nd Esdras 16, these crazy tribulous times like nobody's ever seen before. And in those times, it was going into how the only way you're going to be able to defend yourself is from divine intervention. So you're going to need the Lord to come and give brothers spiritual power in order to defend themselves and their loved ones and healing and taking flight. And then you start getting into John 14th chapter when Yahawashi says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you that the things I do, you shall do also and even greater." That blew my mind because Yahawashi was the man. He's the done data. And you start getting into the apostles when Yahawashi was beamed up. The Lord told him to wait because I'm going to give you spiritual power. And then the apostles had spiritual power to heal and raise the dead and then you learn about Samson and David. And it all start coming together. And it just, oh man, what a phenomenal information. And the most beautiful thing about this is that the 144,000 are going to get these powers in the near future. Lord willing, to be a part of that number, you sincere brothers. And these governing bodies, special men, 12,000 from each tribe out of the 12, which makes 144,000, are going to get these amazing gifts and abilities to manipulate elements, super speed, invulnerability, invincibility, same thing, super strength, telekinesis, mind control, Flash, Hawk, Superman type of crazy type of shit. And the scriptures go into it and tell you that's what's going to happen. And being a Christian, so-called, for so many years of your life, you have never heard this before, ever. I've never heard this in the church. I've never heard anything such of this nature. to understand what's going on. And it makes sense for how the Lord got me like that, because one, I already like this type of topic of discussion. But two is in the scriptures. I believe in the Bible already. Like, I had a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So I was already on point. I was already online as far as the Bible. I just wasn't really like in tune like I am now. And then finding out that this is our book, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, we are the Hebrew Israelites. And this is our particular promise that the Lord is going to give us to protect us, because we are his chosen people. And then I got a hold of the exclusiveness of the Lord with us. And it's not for everybody. It just got better and better and better and better and better. And it's extraordinary. So that's my testimonial. I said this before, but for any new brothers, that's how the Lord used me to get into. That's what the Lord used to get me in the truth, and what makes me a prophet on the highways and hedges, doing these videos, teaching the brothers, teaching the sheep, and doing the work of the Lord. Still to this day, that's how it all started, and I'm very grateful. And I'm pretty sure our brothers got their own little swag about that. But hey, since we on spiritual power, man, like I said, it's going to be a time coming up very soon where Jacob's trouble is going to kick in, and it's going to be a very, very tough time. It's going to be famine, destruction, pestilence, the sword, civil unrest. It's going to be, not to mention the worst of the worst, that Esau is going to come in like a flood. So let's just start with that first. Let's just go with Jacob's trouble, just understanding that it's going to be a really bad time. Daniel 12:1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." And obviously, that's going to be all the 144,000 and the 1/3 entirely, which is also make up of men, women, and children who also believe in Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa. Because not every Israelite is going to be 144,000, but there will be Israelites that's men, women, and children that's also part of the elect, which is the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. So it's not going to just be 144,000 people, which will be men, only getting beamed up in salvation. That's not the case at all. It's also going to be men, women, and children as well who believe, who are not the prophets, but are also part of the elect, and will be right alongside with 144,000 getting beamed up, which is obviously dope, because you got to have women and children, because hey, the brother's going to need some wives. Let me go to Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Who's that he? He's talking about the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Seminole Indians. Now, even though this is going to be a really, really tough time, it's going to be not good, man. You know what? Let me just give you let me just give you an insight. Like me and my brother we did a camp last night. Let me just hit one insert and second address, and then give your brain a little idea, which is it's terrible, but it is what it is. Second address 16. I'm gonna go at no, it's 15. 15. Let me start at 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Right. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So it's going to be like a Walking Dead or a Black Summer type of environment, where everybody is all for themselves, rape, robbing, pillaging, just lawlessness, just no 911. There's nobody going to be able to, nobody coming for your help unless you got a father or a brother beside you. And if you're a woman and you ain't got nobody, it's going to be fucked up, man. It's going to be real bad. And it says 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So there's not going to be no Senate, no government, no armies, no 911, no sheriffs, no nobody that you can call to help you in this day. It's going to be a real bad situation, and it's for the heathen and the 2/3 of our people. And you think that's bad? It's my last one before I get back into my video to give you an idea on how terrible this is going to be. You got Amos 5:18. Now peep this. Amos 5:18. This is how this day is going to be. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, right? And it says, as if a man did flee from a lion, which is was a terrifying experience, right? You escaped from a lion. And as soon as you thought that you got away from the lion, it says a bear met him. And you know a bear can really do some damage. So you got away from a lion, like, oh shit. And then a bear came out of nowhere after you thought you was safe. A bear right at you now. Then it says, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So you flee from a lion, escape from the scarcity, from the hair of your head. And then the bear came at you and you finally somehow got through that. And then you went into a house thinking you was fine. And a serpent was, a big ass snake was there. It's like wherever you go and wherever you turn is going to be trouble and drama and danger every step of the way. That is horrifying. How do you survive such situations? Okay. Now, not to mention, you're going to have Esau coming like a flood. You know what I mean? Because they know it, but he had a short time. Revelations 12:12, right? So in that case scenario, all right, cool. Now you understand what Jacob trouble is. Now let's go how the Lord going to defend his people. You know, especially when stuff get real. You got Isaiah 59:19 is a good one. In 20, it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, and who's that enemy? The Esau and the heathen, the UN troops is going. It's going to get real bad. It's going to be a lot of killing going on, man. If brothers watch the movie called Bushwick, that's a really good situation to go off of. Or look up the first purge in Staten Island when they was attacking the Negroes, Latino, Native Indian. They was utterly just going hard body. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be coming like a flood like that. And it said the spirit of Yahawashi Bahasham shall lift up a standard against them. Now, what's that standard? Now, standard goes into that's the spiritual power that I'm talking about. Now, when you go into Hebrew, I ain't got to bring it out right now, but it goes into to escape. Okay, so the Lord can make a way for you to escape, but there's other ways the Lord can do that. He can give you a Samson situation where it give you utter power to defeat hundreds of men at one time, kind of like Neo did in the Matrix. That's possible. Then you got to be able to fly away, which brothers going to be flying like Superman. That's going to happen. That's also going to happen. I'll bring that out. You can fly away. Or it says to fly to the attack, kind of like what I was going into. So instead of running away, the Lord can put a spirit on you, give you spiritual power to defend yourself and to attack the enemy. Rather than running away, you stay in there and fight and then end up winning. Yeah, the Lord, when the spiritual power gets awakened into these brothers, Lord will I could be a part of that number, because I love spiritual power. Spiritual power is the shit. Like I've always been in power my whole life. Right? When these brothers get wakened up with these spiritual power, man, it ain't gonna be nothing that the heathen gonna be able to do to stop these bulls. Cause look, you gotta look at it like this. We can go to Luke 10:19. Look, it says, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions. And serpents and scorpions go into governments, armies, tanks, troops, just anything that's going to be able to, fighter jets, something that's going to try to harm you in any way as an opposite coming at you, right? And all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. That's invincibility. You're going to be like Superman or Black Adam up this joint. I'm telling you, ain't no bullet going to stop you. Ain't no missile. They're going to throw a grenade in the same vicinity that you are, and it's going to blow up. You're going to be fine. They not going to know what to do. That's why in Leviticus, like you got like Leviticus And I call this. You got one in Leviticus 26. I mean Joshua 23. I get them both, but Leviticus 23. It says verse oh no Leviticus Leviticus 26. Yeah, 26. Leviticus 26 and 8. It says, no, I'm starting at 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemy shall fall before you by the sword. Right? And this is back in the ancient times when we was actually like when the Lord was really with us. And we was able to go at different armies and bring them down. This same precept is coming back in the near future when brothers get spiritual power, and it's going to be just like that again. But this time, we ain't going to need swords and guns. We going to have our own hands, man. Be able to call lightning down, laser beams out of our eyes like Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, super speed like Flash. Yo, super strength like Hawk. Hey, yo, listen. Yo, remember, Samson was strong as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Samson brought down the whole temple by himself. One dude. You got to be like Hawk to do that. You got to be like Hawk to do that. Like, Superman, Hawk types. That's the only way it's going to be able to work. And the power of the Lord is going to come down on brothers, and brothers going to get busy. Yo, listen. Yo, remember what happened to David? The same thing gonna happen to Samson too. Samson in Judges the 15th chapter, verse 14 through 16. I'm just gonna say that. All I know is the Spirit of the Lord came up on Samson. He took a bone, a jawbone part. He took it and broke it, and he literally defeated 1,000 men with just them 2 bones. Not a sword. He took the 2 bones and was knocking everybody off by himself. The Lord was with him. Because remember, it says the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. You don't think it's going to happen in the future when brothers go through this crazy ass Jacob's troubles time? What you think the Lord going to let the heathen and the enemies come down on his prophets? What does scripture say? Do my prophets no harm. The Lord not playing. Soon as Esau come in like a flood, the Lord gonna lift a standard and gonna show Esau and the heathen, whoever gonna come at the elect, what it's really about. And what them brothers gonna do, Lord will, I could be a part of that number. You're gonna glorify the name of Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa. Don't be amazed at the power. Be amazed that your name is written in the book. Because you get spiritual power, you guaranteed to get salvation at that point. That's probably the only time I'm going to be, but obviously say where you can reserve your seat at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when your seat is reserved. That's when you can be like, I'ma definitely get delivered because I got spiritual power. That's 100% from the field. Like, bet. You get spiritual power, you a man of the Lord for sure. Then that's when the Isaiah 4:1 kicks in. 7 women shall take hold of 1 man, because everybody gonna be dying and everybody gonna be starving and have no substance or resources, but you a man of the Lord with spiritual power. You can manipulate elements, you can make water, you can do what Moses did, fuck around and crack a rock or speak to the rock, what he was supposed to do, but you can fuck around, crack a rock and make water come out and make everybody drink. You can do what Yahawashi did with the apostles, feeding the multitude of people with just a piece of fish and some bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Control the weather. Like, bro, like, brothers, yo, somebody roll their ankle, you go over there and touch their ankle, and through the spirit of power, Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa, you heal them and they can get up and walk again. Come on, man. Like, brothers gonna be popping. I'm telling you, man, this spiritual power is going to be unreal. And not to mention, what's gonna be so crazy about it, we're gonna be in the terrestrial flesh. Brothers gonna have spiritual power like that in the terrestrial flesh. It's going to be unheard of, man. It's not going to be understandable. It's going to be like, what the fuck is going on? Matter of fact, okay, let's prove super speed, because brothers going to need that. There's going to be a lot of scenarios where super speed might just be what it is, but when you get spiritual power, you know what I mean? Once the Spirit of the Lord, once the Rachaa Qadash come on you from Yahawashi Bahasham, once you got that power, I'm willing to bet you the Lord just going to have you know what to do. That's why when brothers prophesy on the highways and hedges, which is a form of spiritual power right there through the Rachaa Qadash, which is the Holy Spirit, the Lord said, don't worry about what you going to say. That's why brothers say we ain't got no topic. We gonna go through the Spirit, and what happens every single time? Brothers just start talking in general, bringing up precepts, and next thing you know, it flows for an hour or two, just flowing, and it just was a banging ass video just from something that we ain't practiced. We ain't rehearse. Brothers don't rehearse. We don't practice before we go out there. We just go, what y'all get into? I don't know. Start with this precept. Next thing you know, bow, there you go. Now, next thing you know, it's edifying. People was fed. And we ain't even know how it was going to, the Lord sit and give you what you want, what you need to say. Same thing with the spiritual power. Brothers are going to know what to do and just going to believe. Just going to just know you can do it. What is this? I believe this is Wisdom of Solomon. And I believe it's the 3rd chapter, I believe. Okay, so Wisdom of Solomon 3. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna go right at 7. It says, and in the time of their visitation, they shall shine, right? And run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. You just can't do that. You just can't run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. You ever see how like somebody take a chainsaw and they scrape it on some metal and the sparks start shooting and they can shoot really fast coming out the sparks? That's what it's talking about. Imagine a human being running at that speed that the spark came out. That's some fast ass shit, man. It's going, hey man. Hey, brothers are going to be magnificent. Brothers are going to be out of control. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be moving something crazy. Matter of fact, okay. First things first, now that I'm saying this, somebody can watch my video and kind of say, like, get the fuck out of here. Well, you can always go to Luke 1:37 and then just read that, which is also true to give you my reference. For with Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa, nothing shall be impossible. So everything I'm saying is highly possible. Let alone our forefathers was doing crazy shit that we can't fathom to do nowadays. Look, read in Samuel 23, David's mighty men controlling lightning and slaying thousands of men by themselves, or slaying all these men with one spear. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. You don't think that ain't coming back? When the Lord put that spirit on brothers, man. Yo, matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 40. Isaiah 40, I'm gonna start at 29. It says, he giveth power to the faint. No, I start at 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power of Yahawah Bahasham Rachaa, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary, and there is no searching of his understanding. You don't understand the Lord. So even what I'm saying might sound far-fetched, but all right, well, shit. Well, it might sound far-fetched, but it's possible with the Lord, and you can't understand how the Lord can make this happen. Just is what it is. Don't even rack your brain on trying to understand that. Just know that it just is. And it says, he giveth power to the faint. See? He giveth power to the faint. And to them that have no might, he increaseth strength. Because remember, when Samson when Samson, even David too, when they were entrapped with a bunch of Philistines around them and nothing they can do about it, they were at that time faint and weary and also feeble at that time. They was for sure going to lose. They were outnumbered. And the Lord did what? Gave him power. And next thing you know, that's how Samson was able to slay 1,000 men. And how many did David slay? Tens of thousands by himself. Let me repeat that. King David slayed tens of thousands of men by himself. Make that make sense, man. How the fuck can you do that? But the Spirit of the Lord, the Lord give you spiritual power and help you out. We're gonna get more into it. He give power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength. You see that? Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. Right? You got a little 8-year-old boy can have all the energy in the world. He can run up a half a block, and then after a while he start getting tired of shit too. Right? But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Right? They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not be faint. So that's two things in there that's going to happen. That's going to require. That's going to have with spiritual power. One, they're going to mount up with wings as eagles. That's flight. Brothers are going to be flying like some Superman Hancock shit. Not to mention, Wisdom of Solomon said they're going to run. They're going to shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. So then they can run fast as shit. Then you can obviously know by flying, they're going to be able to fly fast as shit like Hancock and Superman. This is the obvious at that point. And not only that, the Lord is talking about infinite stamina out here. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Unlimited stamina and durability, man. Can you imagine running and not getting tired? Yo, man, listen, hey. But the Lord, remember, but here's the point. 29, he giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength, right? Okay, so the next chapter, Isaiah 41. Because in those days are going to be so bad that we're going to need some type of help. There's no way you're going to be able to survive some shit like that, right? So then you got to go Isaiah 41. It says, Isaiah 41, we're going to go at, start at 13. For I, the Lord, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee, right? Fear not, thou worm Jacob. Worms are helpless. They got no power, no strength at all. But what the Lord going to do that for us to be weary and lowly and considered as worms, where we're the ones with no strength, what the Lord going to do? Behold, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth, and thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. Hey, yo, do you understand what that's saying? The Lord is going to turn his people into super soldiers. Crazy, bro. When the Lord gives spiritual power to his men, yo, it's nothing that nobody gonna be able to do. And mind you, mountains goes into governments, man. There's not gonna be no governments, no armies is gonna be able to stop an Israelite, bro. It ain't gonna happen. They not gonna know what to do with them. Lord willing, could be a part of that number. They not gonna know what to do. They not gonna know what to do, man. It's gonna be like Superman in front of all them armies when he was in that movie, and he was up in the air, and they were just sitting there with their guns up. But like, what was you gonna do? Like, you can have your guns up all you want as Superman. Like what? Like what? Like, all right, it's 80 of y'all, and it's one of me. But what y'all gonna do, Nathan? Luckily, Superman came in peace. Because imagine if he really wanted to do some drone shit, it would have got real. The Lord said he's going to help his men. Got women, children, brothers got daughters. What you think the Lord going to do? Give them power, and they're going to be safe. They're going to be all right. Because the Lord's going to help his men. He's going to give them spiritual power. He's going to help thee. It's my final precept. This is my favorite spiritual power precept. You think I was bullshitting on the rest of these precepts? Hypothetically, just saying. Look at this. Zechariah 12 and 8. Man, this is the craziest precept I've ever heard. It says, in that day that I'm talking about, that crazy day, the day of the Lord, that crazy wild day that's unheard of, never seen since mankind started, right? And Jacob's trouble, right? In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. We just read Isaiah 59:19, Isaiah 41, and Isaiah 40 as well on helping. And we know about David and Samson, how they were helped too in a bad time, right? It was the same thing. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. He that is feeble, right? We're the lowly, we have no strength, but the Lord said to the ones that faint and will have no strength, he increases it, right? And he that is feeble among them in at that day shall be as David. And David was a bad bull. David can jump really high. He had super speed, his damn self. He was able to run through a troop. He had hinds feet. Listen, man, look. Just know that David killed tens of thousands of men by himself. So, Psalms 144:1 says that the Lord teaches my hands to fight. So when Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa teach you how to fight, what type of mixed martial art, what type of craft is that? Like what type of skills is that when the Lord taught you how to fight? Think about that. Not no human, but the Lord showed you how to fight. However the Lord showed him, the Lord put him on game. And for the reason why he was a bad motherfucker, right? So think about that. So to be as David, and the house of David, the Biyaf Dawadah, 144,000, shall be as God, bro. As Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa on a lower level. It will never be God, but you know what it's saying. As the angel of the Lord before him. Brothers are going to be like angels in terrestrial bodies getting busy. How the fuck can you stop something like that? There's no way. I brought this out as edifying to you, brothers, Lord willing. You know what I mean? And also, this was coming for you, brothers, man. No, remember, we're going to come through harsh times, but having faith in Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa and believing in these precepts, wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of thy times, Isaiah 33:6, is going to be very, very useful, because I'm willing to bet you that when you depend on the Lord and have faith, those are the men who do that properly in distress is the ones who are going to get the spiritual power, because you're worthy of it at that point. You believe in the Lord and you have faith in the Lord. So when it get real, why not give a person like that power? Why not? You a real sergeant, a real soldier that really believe in the Lord, and the Lord like, you believe in me like that? All right, bet. Let something happen to you, I got you. Lord give you power, and next thing you know, you're a bull. I brought this out, Lord willing, is edifying to you, brothers. Lord willing, will give all praise and honor and glory to Yahawashi Bahasham Rachaa Qadash. Yahweh, he is to be, exists, Bahasham in the name, and only begotten Son, the Lord and Savior. Yahawashi Bahasham in the name, and the Holy Spirit of Rachaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders that learn truth from GMS. Blessings to the Akim there preaching his word with heart and sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, 1/3 entirely, the first fruits kingdom in heaven, the house of David, the Biyaf Dawadah, and Shalom to brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking different nations. Shalom to you, brothers.